Hey, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. Sorry, my stomach is grumbling. This will be my second palette bingo. This will be with the ABH Norvina Pro Volume 5 palette, which is like known as the purple palette because it's 90% purple. If this is your first time seeing me, or if this is your first time seeing one of my palette bingos or palette roulette as I sometimes call them, basically in celebration for my 100 subscriber mark, I put up a poll asking which out of my 4 like extra large palettes everyone wanted to see for a palette bingo, for like a Q&A, get ready with me to celebrate. And like almost all of the palettes tied both on my YouTube poll and Instagram, so I've just decided to do all 4 in the order that they were voted. The Norvina and the Fairy Tale Forest tied for first place, but I just decided to do Fairy Tale Forest first, and I'll link the playlist below, or I guess I'll just link that video below since there's only one video so far. But I decided to do that one first because I knew my Norvina Pro palette would be in for my May No Pan Left Behind, so I figured I'd kind of just do like a first impressions on camera with you during my palette bingo. I've never used this palette, so we're about to see today kind of what I think about it, and I'm going to randomize 5 shades, and I have to use all 5 shades in the eyeshadow look, and I can only use those 5 shades, so I'm not gonna add any eyeshadow. The only thing I'll put on after is some eyeliner and mascara. For my brushes, I have like, I got almost all like freshly washed brushes for this video. The only one that wasn't is this like pencil brush, but it's my favorite pencil brush for inner corner highlights, so in case I get a shade that will be an inner corner highlight, I'll use this one. And then I have this like double-sided one in case I want to use like something for a wing. Oh, I should have brought like a setting spray to spray it. Also, I have my window open yet again, so if you can hear people outside, sorry. And then I also sometimes use this side to like separate my lashes. And then these 4 are all Dose of Colors eyeshadow brushes, or like eye brushes, but I've actually never used them. But like when I was going through all of my brushes to pick exactly which ones I wanted to use for this video, I swear I didn't realize that they were all this brand, but these just happened to be the ones I picked, so I guess it was like fate. And I'm also going to be trying these brushes for the first time today. Also, last thing before I get started, I promise this video will be all about my cats because I'll put the request on the screen. I did get a request to do a dedicated video about my cats and kind of just talking all about them, so that's what I'll be doing while I'm doing my eyeshadow. But before I talk about that, I will roll my 5 shadows. So again, here's the palette. I'm gonna try to hold it so the mirror doesn't blind everyone, but here it is, and I'm going to roll 1 through 25 going this way and down the rows. First, number 7. Okay, so 6, 7 is A2, no, B2, obviously. It's this shade right here, and I'll swatch all of these. That's what the first shade looks like, so pretty light shade. I can probably use that as like my transition color. Next color, 9, so 2 after that, which is B4. This one right here, that's like is that like satin, or is it just it's a matte with glitter? Okay, so this is like a mauve matte with glitter in it, which is not my favorite formula. I don't prefer there to be glitter in my mattes, but that's what it looks like, and that's actually a really pretty color, but definitely 2 very different undertones, so I already don't know what I'm gonna do with that. 24, so that's the second to last shade in the palette, which is E4, and I'm gonna have to start wiping off my fingers now. It seems like kind of just a basic warm brown, for me, transition color. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with these, but I still have 2 more. Hopefully I get a shimmer. 4th shade is 17, which is 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. Oh no. Okay, I feel like careful what you wish for, because I got the one press glitter in this palette. That is D2, and it's this like, it feels like actual glitter. This was the one shade I wanted to avoid. Well, I'll make it work because I have a glitter glue, but oh my goodness. I guess it's good that I'm knocking it out in this video where I'm not really planning on wearing it out, so I don't have to wear it when I'm trying to actually like make sure I look nice. But that's what it looks like. It looks really pretty. It's just, if you could feel the texture, it feels like little glitter particles from like kids craft, like a kids craft art pack held together with actual like kids craft glitter glue. That's what it feels like. But the last shade is going to be 2, which is, okay, that's another shimmer, so that's good. Or maybe it's a metallic. It's A2, which, oh, this is the, okay, I know which one this is. I'm gonna put it on the top since I am running out of room. But it's this really pretty, like, it's a duochrome, I think. It is so pretty. Like in the camera it is looking pink, but to me, like when I look at it straight on with the light coming this way, it looks like almost a patina gold. This is the color story that we're working with, that I'm working with. You get to sit there and be entertained, but yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. First, I'll start with my Milani eyeshadow primer, and let's get to talking about my cats. So if you are new here, you might not know that I have 2 cats named Roxy and Rosie. I got them in 2020, so they'll be 4 years old in August. Okay, I definitely put on way too much eyeshadow primer, so let me try to like thin this out. I have my like gigantic mirror for my palette right here, and you probably could tell I already have all of my makeup on except for my eye makeup. Anyway, I got them in 2020, like in the middle of the pandemic. I had been wanting a cat since, basically I have had cats before. Let me start with like the background. I also just realized I did not put any jewelry on, so we're looking quite bare, but that's okay. I don't have any very deep shades, so I guess the deepest out of everything is this second matte that I rolled in, so maybe I'll start with that. I don't have anything to set my primer with, but that's probably good because I want this, sorry, there's a jet. I want this shade to be as opaque as possible. So I'm going to start with that, kind of like all in my outer corner. And I'm gonna use this shader brush. It's like pretty much flat. It's like kind of big actually. It's pretty much flat, but it does have like a tiny bit of fluff on top. It's definitely nowhere near as like skinny as this concealer. I guess this is a concealer brush. I don't know, but that's a difference. You don't care. And again, I'm going into this color B4. So I had cats like pretty much my entire young childhood growing up. Like when I was born, there was already a cat in the house, well, not house, apartment, and he was like my best friend. So I grew up loving cats, which is different from pretty much like all of my family, because my family on my mother's side is Ethiopian, and it's like, it's really the oddest thing, but in Ethiopia, cats are kind of like the boogeyman. Like all Ethiopians are basically scared of cats because they kind of tell these like horror stories about cats. I don't know why. But so no one in my family, including my mom, ever liked cats, and then she got a cat a few years before I was born because she had a mouse, and mice are like, rodents are her worst fear, period. So she was like, I'd rather have a cat that I'm scared of than a rodent that I'm scared of in my apartment. So anyway, she got the cat to get rid of the mouse. Once the mouse was gone, she had already fallen in love with the cat. So that was the cat that I had growing up. He passed when I was 5, and then maybe like, I don't know, a year or so later, my dad, he's currently a salesperson. He pretty much always has been, like in different types of sales, but one of the stores he used to like sell products to, they had a cat that had like a litter of cats, and they were kind of like giving them away, or maybe they were selling them, I don't know. But my dad knew that I really wanted a cat, so he like offered to take one. I named it John for whatever reason, I don't know. And then he just like ended up giving it back a few months later, because at that point I was only with my dad like on the weekends because my parents separated. So he doesn't care about cats. He's more of a dog person for sure. He only got the cat because of me, and he didn't want to take care of it like Monday through Friday with him being gone all the time for work. So he ended up giving the cat away, and after that I still had always wanted another cat. Fast forward to now, I'm like 23. It's 2020, months into the pandemic, and I'm still thinking about a cat because I never let go of wanting one. And at this point I'm living with my mom in the apartment that I grew up for most of my childhood, in the city that I live now, and we're not allowed to have pets. But I noticed that like sometimes some of the tenants, this is like my old apartment, some of the tenants would get like dogs or cats, and the landlord would kind of like look the other way based on whether or not you were one of his favorites. So me and my mom were kind of like, well, mostly my mom, because I had been asking for a cat for years and years and years, like almost 2 decades at that point, and she kept saying no. So my mom came up to me one day and she was like, I just saw a big dog in our neighbor's window and the landlord hasn't done anything about it, so you know what, we're gonna get a cat. And I was like, okay, sick. And I kid you not, literally like a day or two later, my best friend texted me. She was like, hey, I know you can have cats, but my friend from high school, a cat just had a litter of kittens in her backyard. Now she's trying to get rid of them because there are like 6 of them. She didn't like get rid of all of them, but by the way, she kept the mother and one of the kittens, but she couldn't keep so many because, you know, she has a dog already and other pets. Anyway, I feel like defending her. I'm gonna move on to a different color now. I've been blending this for quite some time. I think I'm just gonna wipe this brush off on a tissue. And on the inner part of my eye, I'm gonna go into E4, this color, and just put it all over the inner part of my eye. I don't know what I'm doing, to be quite honest. I don't know how I'm gonna work this brown into things. So anyway, my best friend asked me if I like was considering any of them. Like, she sent me pictures and videos of them because I have such a weakness for cats, especially like strays. I always believe like adopt, don't shop. I mean, my cats were literally from the streets. Like, I just like, my heart bled for them. And I told my mom and she was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get like a cat. And then we decided we definitely wanted to get 2 if we could, because we didn't want to have just like one cat to be all by its lonesome, and like we didn't want to rip a cat away from the rest of its family all of a sudden. We waited until they were about 7 weeks old so that they could be away from their mother before we actually took them. It ended up that there were exactly 2 cats left by the time we got there. And of course that was Roxy and Rosie. So I'll post, like, hopefully if I can find any like pictures and videos, I'll be posting them on the screen of like what the whole process was like and bringing them home and everything. This is what this is looking like. I don't know if they're necessarily blending the best together. I'm gonna take this fluffy, literally just called blending brush, and kind of like blend in between the 2 colors. So when I got there, I kind of just scooped up Rosie I saw Rosie and I kind of just scooped her up because I knew my mom wanted Tonkinese, because that's what her first cat was, a Tonkinese cat. And Roxy, basically they're from the same litter, so they have the same mom, but we think they have different dads because they look nothing alike. You should be seeing pictures and everything. So my mom definitely would have just taken Roxy because she looks like, you know, a fluffy Siamese cat, which is like what she wanted if she couldn't get a Tonkinese cat. So as soon as I saw Rosie, I like snatched her up because I was like, we're not leaving her here. This edge right here is not really blending out too well. This side is, so I don't know what that's about. On this fluffy blending brush, again, I'm gonna take this bright shade B2 and kind of just blend out the edges more. I don't really know. I'm not very good at this palette bingo stuff. Check out other people if I'm boring you. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're sisters, so like they do fight. Like I'm assuming all siblings fight. I don't know why I was like hunched over. But yeah, they definitely do like find comfort in each other. Like they take naps together. I'm putting that shade, that same shade that I was using, under my eye, like under where I put the first matte that I applied. So yeah, they were born in August 2020. We picked them up in October of 2020, and they've been my little babies ever since then. I'm going to apply my NYX glitter primer and put the glitter all over my eye. Hopefully this works out. Between the two, Rosie is definitely more demure, and Roxy is like, I don't know, they're both crazy, but Roxy is like, she really just doesn't care. Like she'll do anything and she does not listen to us. Like they know their names, but if you say Rosie's name, she'll look at you or she'll stop doing whatever she's doing that she wasn't supposed to be. Roxy doesn't care. She's like typical cat. So here I go with this glitter shade. I feel like I'm gonna pause talking because I'm nervous. Okay, it's not going on. Like, I guess there's no base color to it because I can still see what's underneath. Oh, I'm hoping this does not go on my eye later, because this is actual glitter particles. Okay, this is what it looks like. I feel like I probably should have done the inner corner highlight first, which is what I'm gonna use the last shade for, but I'm gonna keep going since we already did this eye. I'm gonna do the other eye the same. There's already a big dip in this glitter just for me like swatching it and using it this one time. Sorry if you heard that, that was my stomach growling again. I don't know if you can see that dip in this shade right here, but there's already a dip just from that one use. So this is what it's looking like so far, and now I'm gonna use this shade A2 in my inner corner and a little bit underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna use these two brushes. This is Eco Tools Precision Blending and Dose of Colors pencil brush. And I'm just putting it here and then swooping it like downward. I don't know. And then gonna bring it up. This is like how I do my inner corner every single day. Swoop it up. Gonna do that on the other eye. Now I'm gonna take this pencil brush in that same shade and kind of like line the first half of my under eye. That is such a pretty shade. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I'm not mad about the way this turned out. I think this is like going to be it for the eyeshadow, and now I'm gonna apply like my eyeliner and mascara, and then I'll come back. This is the finished look. I like it. I do wish I had a deeper color than that mauve shade, but I do think it worked out. And in the end, I'm pretty happy with like how I made all the colors work. So I'll take a picture after I finish filming and I'll post it on the screen so you can see what it looks like all done up. To the person who requested this video topic, I hope I talked enough about them, or I talked about the things you were interested in. You can still ask me any questions if you want to know more about them, but yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.